Big round of applause for Jon.
So I meet this woman actually here at the Moth, and then we become friends on Facebook because she's really cool people. And then one day she posts a status update on Facebook, and she says that she knows a casting director that's looking for actors and for people. And it piqued my interest, except I have like zero experience in like the performing arts. The extent of it ended when I was a child, like when I did a magic show in front of my parents. You know, you have the cup and you put the water in, except when I put the pencil in, all the water fell all over the carpet. Or the time that we did a Wild Wild West show at my grandma's house, and my cousin fell off the roof. So like, we just weren't very good at those things, and so I decided really early on that this wasn't for me. So I asked her, hey, I'd like to know more about this. And then she says, well, there's only 2 requirements. And when she tells me the requirements, it becomes really clear that they're like digging bottom of the barrel. One of the requirements for the person that's looking for the shoot is you have to have a car. And the other one is that you have to like burgers. And I'm like, oh. And she's like, do you fit the criteria? And I'm like, well, I do have a car in there. Yeah, I fit the criteria. She goes, great. She says, next week, I'll get you an audition with the casting director. And I go, oh, okay. So next Thursday comes, and I don't even put it in my calendar or nothing. And I'm at work, and it kind of crosses my mind, but I'm just kind of thinking like this could be your big opportunity, Jon. You could come out on TV, like you can make all your dreams come true. But then the other part of my brain says like, no, don't be an idiot. You've never acted a day in your life. You like don't know anything about this. And so I just don't even show up to the thing. And I kind of feel bad, but kind of not. And then the next day, she messages me. She's like, hey, you never showed up to the audition. And I was like, yeah, I couldn't get the time off of work, which is kind of true, because if you don't ask for the time off, they don't give you the time off. So and she goes, well, the casting director really, really wants to meet you, because I told him you fit the criteria. I go, yeah, I fit the criteria. So she says, can we set up like a FaceTime audition? I say, sure. So I get this FaceTime audition, and I'm sitting there, and he's asking me all these random questions, but he has 2 big questions. He wants to know if I fit the criteria. And he goes, do you have a car? And I got the answers before to the test. So I say, yeah, I have a car. And he says, what's your favorite food? I'm like, burgers. And then he says, wait, this is great. Then he asks like a really random question. He goes, when you're driving, do you ever meet random people and help them? And I say, yeah, I helped this old lady last week. And he goes, tell me about that. And I go, well, her car broke down and I helped her push it to the side. And he goes, why'd you do that? I said, because you should help old ladies, cross the street and all that stuff. And he goes, oh, okay. He goes, don't call us, we'll call you one of those things. So I forget about it, and then a couple days later, I get a call from a casting agency. The casting director loved you. They'd really like you to come out in this commercial. It's a big opportunity for like this SAG gig, and it's gonna be nationwide if you make it. And I'm thinking like, OMG. Like, I've never acted a day in my life. Once they find out the truth, I'll be ruined. Like, I don't know anything about acting or being in front of people. And so I say, well, sure. And she tells me the shoot's going to be in Santa Clarita. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be driving around and you're going to be commenting on other rude drivers. And I'm like, I can fake that. I can do that. And so the day is slowly approaching, and I'm like kind of practicing when I'm driving in my car. Oh, this guy's going 60, 70 miles an hour. She didn't turn her blinker on. And I'm just like kind of talking to myself in my car because I'm rehearsing my lines. And then the day comes, and I'm driving to Santa Clarita, and I'm thinking, I'm not an actor. Who am I kidding? And then it kind of crosses my mind that I've actually never met any of the people involved. And I'm going out to like Santa Clarita like at 7 in the morning, and like, am I gonna come out in the news? And is someone gonna like be hiking and find my head one day or something like that? And so I show up, and when I get there, there's all these tents. And it's like a legit acting thing. They have all these trailers, and they have all the SAG rules up, and they say, have you eaten? And I say, well, no, I haven't. We'll have some muffins. Well, I'll have some muffins. And so I go through the whole thing, and I'm signing papers, and I'm just kind of like feeling like this is like getting caught up. So I start texting all my friends, and they're like, this is great. So the director comes out, and then he says, you ready? And I go, yeah. And he goes, all right. So they get me mic'd up and all this stuff, and I'm like, I'm doing this kind of stuff. And then he says, all right, we're going to do it. And I go, what are we doing? He goes, and I go, no. And he says, just get in your car, drive down to that stop sign. When you reach the stop sign, you'll know what to do. Okay. So I get in my car, and I drive down to the stop sign. And when I get to the stop sign, I'm looking around, and I'm kind of talking to myself because I'm mic'd up, so I'm thinking maybe they're recording this. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going 45 miles an hour. I'm stopping 200 feet before the stop sign. So I turn, and when I turn on the road, there's this car in the middle of the road, and there's smoke coming out of it. And so I pull up behind the car because I always help people when something's wrong. And I go to see, and when I look in the hood of the car, it's actually not a fire or anything. There's a grill, and there's patties in there. And the king comes out, not LeBron James, like the creepy Burger King dude. He comes out of like the bushes with like a spatula and he starts flipping the patties. And then this Burger King employee comes running, hey, what's up, what's up? And I'm like, hey, and he's like, why'd you stop? I was like, because I thought your car was on fire. Oh, no, me and the king just like to cook here and we always do. He's like, you don't like Whoppers, do you? And I was like, yeah. He's like, let's eat them. So he gets these chairs out of the back and we put them in the middle of the road and there's a Burger King employee here and I'm here and the king is here and we're just chatting and I'm eating a Whopper. And the director says, cut, and then they come out and he goes, there's a camera there, there's a camera there, there's a camera there. It's kind of like candid camera. And he goes, did you see him? And I'm like, no. All right, cut. So they stop the whole thing. And then he says, all right, sign this waiver. We'll call you if we want to use the commercial. And so I'm driving home and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. That was like a national commercial. And they don't actually ever end up calling me. But then I just start getting checks. And they're like huge checks. And they keep coming, and they keep coming, and they keep coming. And then I just like search on YouTube, and I found out like this is like a national thing. And I'm getting like checks for it being played overseas and all this. And then this like talent agent calls me. And she's like, yeah, I saw your thing. Are you interested in being represented? And I'm like, wow, I'm not an actor. What's going on? And then I meet her, and it's like totally legit. And like a few months ago, like I wasn't on backstage. I didn't have headshots. Now I'm like living the dream and like trying to figure this whole thing out. And I keep telling myself, like, I'm not an actor. One of these days, someone's going to find out that I've betrayed them. Someone's going to find out that I'm like living a lie. But then I think about everything that's transpired, and I'm like, maybe I am an actor. Thank you.